Okay, here's my latest response, MCC 1789. Now, in response to my definition of capitalism as as a system where the means of production can be owned privately, you said it's more than that. It's arbitrary, involuntary, profit-based, unrestricted private ownership, or at least private ownership with very few restrictions. So, am I to understand that in your version of anarchist socialism, some private ownership of the means of production would be allowed? It doesn't make it capitalism. It doesn't make it capitalism just because there's private ownership of the means of production. It takes all those other conditions as well. Um, okay. Next, regarding the state, you said it's hierarchical, arbitrary, involuntary authority over others. Okay, so I have a scenario that I'd like to discuss and ask a couple of questions about. Suppose I have a milling machine in my house that I obtained in a way that you consider legitimate. Um, it seems that my relationship with other people, specifically with respect to my milling machine, in a sense, is hierarchical in nature because I get to exclude them from using it if I don't want them to. But it's not arbitrary. It's based on a legitimate claim of personal property or possession, and I do have authority over other people's potential use of the machine, of my machine, but it wouldn't be involuntary, since you said I'd be perfectly within my rights to deny others the use of my machine. Now, suppose my neighbor, for some reason, is out of work, and I know that he has skills approximately equivalent to my own in using the milling machine. Now, if he and I agreed, would I be allowed to pay him an hourly wage to operate the milling machine for me? If not, well, how would it be prevented? Assuming he and I agree to it. Now, a slightly different question. Again, if he and I agreed, would I be allowed to charge him rent to use my milling machine? And if not, well, again, how would it be prevented? Okay, next point, or next question. It would only be, you were talking about regarding a private state, it would only be a private state if you preemptively control other people in order to defend yourself and others. So, if there's a private organization that is used to defend people and their personal property, you would not consider that a private state unless it preemptively controlled other people. Is that correct? Okay, next question. Now, you said in your comments to your last video that setting up police, military, and courts is setting up a state. So, are you saying that you're in favor of no police at all? No military at all? No courts of any kind? Would you have no organized way of resolving disputes?